Hello everyone, I would like to share with you a very important key point with respect to factoring of quadratic expressions. Remember, quadratic expressions in general can be written as ax squared plus bx plus c. So to factorize this, assuming a is 1, so let a equal to 1. Even if it is not 1, if you are dealing with an equation, you can confidently divide every single term by the leading coefficient just to have the coefficient of x squared to be 1. So we have something like x squared plus bx plus c. So to factorize this, if at all it is factorable, you have to always come with two numbers, right? Which when you multiply them together, you get the constant term. And the moment you add those two numbers together, you get the coefficient of x, which is b. All right, assuming the numbers are n and m, for which n is greater than m, for instance. So I would like to let you know that if the constant is negative, then one of these two numbers must be negative, because you can only multiply negative and a positive number to get a negative. So it implies that 1 is negative, but we don't know which one should we choose as negative yet. We have to come back here. If the coefficient of x here is also negative, if b is also negative, then the two numbers n and m must be in such a way that n is negative. So I can say that n is negative, but m is positive. Because remember, n is a number greater than m. So whenever you are multiplying two numbers to get a negative number, one of those numbers must be negative. But we come to realize that after adding the two numbers together, we get a negative number. Then the bigger number must be the negative number. So the bigger number must be the negative number, then the smaller number is positive. This is the first condition. Then if the constant is still negative, but this number right here is positive, which is the coefficient of x, then multiplying two numbers, yes, one must be negative, but adding the two numbers, you realize a positive result, then it implies that the smaller number is negative. So in this case, n, which is the bigger number, is positive, the smaller number is negative. You see another condition? Then the third condition, let me use this side. If the constant is positive, then the coefficient of x is also positive, b is positive. Wow. You can only multiply negative by a negative to get positive, or positive by a positive. So in this case, m and n can all be negative or positive at the same time. But to determine whether they are all positive or negative, we have to consider this. So since b is positive, you cannot add two negative numbers to get positive numbers. Then in this situation, all of them, both n and m, are greater than 0. You see another condition? But what if c is positive, but b is negative? We know that we can multiply two negatives or two positives to get a positive. But whenever you add them together, it's either the bigger number is negative, or all of them are negative. But since we are multiplying, they must all be negative, right? N is negative, m is also negative. I have to explain this again. You are multiplying two numbers, but you are getting a positive result, which means that the two numbers are either negative, negative. For instance, negative 2 times negative 3 will give you a positive 6. But after adding those two numbers, you realize a negative. Definitely they are not positive, because you cannot add two positives to get negative. but you can multiply two positive to get positive. Therefore, the numbers must be all negative. You see another condition? Let me see, do we have another condition? Positive, positive, negative, 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 positive, positive, negative. I think these are the 4 conditions. So this is very important. Can we give an example? Yeah, in our next tutorial. Bye-bye.